What up, nation? I'm here with my boy Thunder Dan, and we are both super excited for our first MLB podcast together. I know tonight it's been a little bit of a rough night for us both so far, but it's baseball, it's variance. It's been a fun season so far. Nice slate tomorrow where it's like kind of round two of opening day. We got those studs up top and a bunch of shit pitchers down low too. So, Dan, what do you think of first look so far?
Hey man, I'm just want to say I'm happy to be here with you, buddy. We've been breaking down basketball now for the last month, and you know how much I love baseball, and it was a good first week for us, man. I think other than a weird slate yesterday and a little bit of a weird one today, we had a good first couple slates there.
Definitely, I've been murdered, and so I got MME a lot. My tournaments have been going super well, but cash, I've been getting absolutely fucking killed by these damn Blue Jays. Like they suck. I was talking to you guys about a pre-show, like between the Blue Jays and like the 1, 2, 3 of the Angels, like Calhoun, Bohr, Justin Bohr, hate that guy, and Trout. They've been absolutely killing me, but we're gonna hit on them a little bit later because I'm gonna have to love the Blue Jays again tomorrow. So
yeah, I mean, I'm really pissed at Matt Strom right now. I was really heavy on him, and he's already out of the game. He's killing me here, but. That's the thing about baseball too. Like you're gonna miss. Like I said to the guys yesterday in Slack, like we missed Sunday. We missed. That's the first miss of like the first 4 days of the season. You're winning 3 out of 4 nights. That's pretty good in baseball. So that's the thing. Like you have a bad slate, the next day you just get back up, dust yourself off, start grinding out the next one. So
it's kind of relevant to like the first like podcast for tomorrow too, but like. Part of not missing with baseball on a sport that has this much variance is kind of playing that everyone else misses. Like it's by far, and I think everyone knows this, but not enough people play it enough. Like when a sport has this much variance, if you just go against the grain like every day, like it might not profit every day, but when you profit, you're gonna be paid off.
Huge, yep.
I'm really big in cash. Obviously, I still ride the chalk. Like I'm gonna play those Arlington games when there's the hot weather, Coors games, of course. But in tournaments, I'm all about going against the grain, fading the chalk, and taking my shots there in a sport with this much variance.
It's so much fun, man, with fading the chalk, and like you can get creative so many different ways. Like we talk a lot about the roster construction a lot with. You don't even have to fade all the chalk. Like with baseball, you can play a chalk stack and then just go get like your secondary stack at like 5%. And if the chalk hits, you're still good, but you just need that other stack to hit, or you go play a
chalk hitting stack and play pitchers no one's playing.
Right.
I love
right.
Looking at you can just mix it. Giolito.
Exactly. Like, and that's my thing is like pitching. Like I write up pitchers every day and I try to break down pitchers, and I know we're going to talk a lot of pitching tonight. So, what do you think? You want to start at the top and do this like, top down price wise, like go with the top studs first?
Start us off up top because, like I said, we definitely have some of these, a lot of the aces on the mound today, and there is definitely a bottom tier again, and actually somewhat of appealing mid tier too. So start us up top. What do you like so far?
I mean, I was trying to break this down pre-slate, and it's tough because. I know that the Phillies have a good lineup, especially with Harper there now. But like, I really do have a ton of interest in Mad Max against the Phillies at home. Like, I know he gave up for the bomb opening day to Cano, but he came back and looked awesome with 12 Ks. He's got awesome stuff. He's got by far to me probably the highest K upside on the slate. And I know he's expensive on both sides, but
I'm such a big fan of him too. Like I said it a lot during the NBA podcast, but it's hard for me to roster players I can't watch. Yeah. But watching Scherzer pitch is one of the most fun things in the game. This guy is an animal. He's just
trying to throw by everybody, and he does not care. Like
even when he gets the chance to hit too, like he goes up there with the fucking that like Westbrook mentality, like that killer like mentality, which I love.
He's like the Westbrook of baseball. I like that. That's a good comparison. He's a maniac, and he's gonna go out there and like he gets pissed when they take him out in the 7th or 8th inning. Like he's that guy. He's a real competitor. So yeah, I know the matchup is tough, and the Phillies have a good lineup, but they also strike out. Like, Bryce Harper and Hoskins and all these guys. Like they'll whiff. I mean, Herrera. Like those guys definitely, they're home run threats. Like he could give up a bomb or two tomorrow, but he's a guy you don't care if he gives up a solo shot or two because if he whiffs 10 guys or 12 guys, heck, he was the second highest scorer on the opening day slate and he lost, that first game. So he's my favorite stud to spend up on. I really do have a ton of it. I don't know if he's really necessary in cash because there's some other guys here below who you can save a few bucks on, but he definitely is my favorite stud.
Yeah, so it's tough between like Sale, Scherzer, and Verlander, of course. Those are the three up top, like Blake Snell right underneath them, who are the studs. I'm definitely leaning more between Sale and Scherzer so far, where Verlander going against Texas and does have a pretty high fly ball rate. Gives it the most hard contact between the three, and those lefty power bats from the Rangers can give him some kind of threat too. Of course, Verlander, these aces are aces for a reason. They don't really matchup proof, but they're elite. But it's just enough to tip you over the edge to put him underneath the other two.
Oh, for sure. I mean that hitting environment Texas I've talked about all the time is insane. And like today we had the big discussion of like, are you on team Brad Peacock or are you trying to go with the Texas bats? And end up being neither of them crushed. Like Peacock was good, but he wasn't great. But he was definitely a risky play. And Verlander, this is the same thing. Like he'll be a great GPP play if you want to you think people are going to play Texas bats and load them up, go against the grain. But he's definitely not my favorite, and I think he comes with a lot more risk than Max. What about Sale, dude? Are you at all concerned about some of those? I mean, his first start or like some of the stories that come out about maybe his velocity's down a little bit. I mean, there's been some talk about like, is he 100%?
That first start really does have to give you something to worry about a bit, and where he's going to be projected to verse 9 righties from the A's here.
Right.
I think it's kind of what is pushing me with that whole concern with the injury. Maybe it turns out to be any other situation that we always see where pitcher's not himself and we see him going to the DL for a little bit. But it's definitely what's tipping me to go to a Scherzer, even if he is versing a little better lineup against the Phillies over Sale, where it's I think a lot more certainty with Scherzer too.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will only play one of those three guys from that tier. And like I said, I don't know if you need any of those studs in cash because there's a couple guys we're going to get to in this 9K range who are just in awesome spots, I think. But I definitely would rank them like Mad Max #1, then probably JV, and then maybe Sale third, just because of that. I mean, I don't like picking on Oakland with those righty bats. Like those guys have pop. They hit a ton of home runs. I know they'll whiff, but like Chapman and Crush and Con Hollow, I mean, those roll up like 9 righties at you, and they're dangerous. I tried to warn you guys about your boy Felix Pena the other day, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Pena," and
we see too last year the A's, like even when they weren't, they were scary to target because even when they weren't like the best stack is in like the highest scoring stack, like they kind of suppressed pitchers, and because it start singling the shit out of pitchers where like they put together these long hit streaks and just kind of make pitchers go deep into counts, score a couple runs against them.
They're tough. They're a tough team. They're a tough squad. Like I just don't go out of my way to pick on them a lot. I do know that they whiff. And so like I obviously played no price tonight, and he gave a couple bombs up already. But I'm not hugely interested in Sale. I guess it would be more of a GBP leverage kind of thing where you're trying to get him like a single digit ownership because everyone's scared off him and you think he's going to dominate, but probably not for me.
Yeah, I think we're both in agreement. We're as scary as like I obviously never want to target that Philly lineup. I think at those three, Scherzer's kind of in the better spot tomorrow.
Yeah, and I always like lean with the National League guy too. He's gonna have the opposing pitcher like at least twice. Like who knows? I don't know. I think Mad Max is the clear choice there among that tier. What do you want to drop down to the next kind of like I would say like three guys here in a row here?
Yeah, so we'll go with the four between Barrios, Blake Snell, Ryu, and
Mad
Bum,
bum.
the
Mad
absolute
bum.
bum Garner who
Yeah,
fucking
he's a bum.
he's that guy's lost now. He
He's
sucks.
trash. Yeah. So watch, he'll go out and like pitch a jam tomorrow against the Dodgers because everyone's off him. And I mean, I feel like he got away with one opening day. Like he's everyone, we all stacked against him, and we're like, yeah, Padres opening day, and then he kind of just skated by. But he's not good. He's not going to last.
No, and even his numbers last year are absolutely abysmal. Like
Hmm.
he gave up a ton of hard contact. Uh, like he's just not the same. He actually gave up the most hard contact on the slate tomorrow over any kind of sample size, not named Shelby Miller.
Yeah,
16
I'm looking right
innings.
at it too. Like Jesus, 41%. Like that's crazy. Like the Dodgers have decent righties. I stacked up the Dodgers righties tonight. I know they're not doing much right now, but they certainly can. So no mad bum for me. Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite of those three? I mean, I guess we have to try to figure out like, is Jose Barrios like the real deal after that opening day start, or was Cleveland just terrible and it just 20 degrees? Like how much of that was him taking a step forward as becoming an elite pitcher?
Like at the goose, I think he is. I don't know if you could say the real deal. I think he definitely has that kind of upside any day though, where he has that K potential. If he's not wild,
Yeah, it's his
he's
control, really.
good. Like yeah, like he's definitely a stud. But I like Snell a lot.
Mm.
Uh, Barrio's obviously versing the worst lineup, but I don't know. These are
Well, let's just back up a second. I think both those guys are probably better GP plays. I mean, are you just going to slot in Ryu and Cash? Because like, come on, why would you not just slot in Ryu and just keep picking on the Giants, dude? It's just the
yeah. I see the
formula that
Giants
works.
at the other side. You could have told me Cashner instead of Ryu was versus the Giants, and
Right.
I'd say it was the cash play. But
I mean,
yeah,
I know
I
it's
just get
nice.
scared because the Dodgers never really let their pitchers go much.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of history last year until the end of the season where he finally saw like 7 innings for a few game stretch where he was getting pulled early. But in this good of a spot, like how long does he really need to go to pay off his price tag? I'm
Right.
gonna like him a fair bit. I
Right.
think out of those four, he's definitely at the top of the bunch for me. I have Snell right under him right now, and then Barrios there. But it's Barrios is like he has that upside where he can outscore both those guys. I just don't like the uncertainty there. Like, uh, Colorado has the lower team total and everything. Snell's K potential is insane. I'm a big fan of Snell too. He's a real life pitcher.
Oh, I mean, he had a hell of a year last year, and I know he had a real tough matchup that on opening day, and I was on him as a pivot that day, and he didn't come through for us. I like him a lot. I would say Ryu's the safest by far. I do like Barrios. I was looking up his numbers against KC last year, and he was good. I think he pitched 4 times against them and was let's see here. Yeah, it was like two ERA, like one WHIP, like 9K per nine. Like he had 4 really good starts against them. And I know you don't usually factor in those previous performances, but I with those division rivals that face each other a lot, I do think there's a lot of familiarity there, and I do like to weight that a little bit. Um,
I
and
had
I like.
my cursor over that red hang up button on Skype. I thought you were gonna say that vicious 3 letter
Oh no, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything
that
about
banned
the.
word we have.
Nope, I won't say it. I won't say it. I just saying he is familiar with them. And last year, previously he had struggled against them, but last year if you want to break it down to like, because that's the whole argument against it, right? Is like, if you look at his career, like he's this against KC, but like I singled out just last season, not earlier on. Like last season when he really broke out, what did he do against the Royals? He was good. And if he doesn't walk guys, that's the thing. He's always like walks a couple guys and gives up a home run or something stupid. He's got great K stuff. I mean, I definitely will have some of him tomorrow. It's a matter of is he cash safe? Like I don't know if I want to call him cash safe yet. Guys were talking about playing him cash on opening day, and I was like, I know it's a good spot. I know it looks good. I just don't like it in cash. And of course he smashed, and I was like, oh, it worked out. So good for you. But I'm just real picky about pitchers, and I don't like rolling guys who I don't feel 100% confident in as far as being being safe.
I'm right with you there too. So between those four, rank them again for me.
I go, well, I mean, it depends on like what ranking. Like if I'm building like cash rankings, like Ryu,
In terms of like safety, I think we're gonna if we're going to tournaments, we're gonna have Barrios a little higher. But in
right,
terms of safety, like
probably Ryu, then Snell, and then Barrios. But I know you like Snell the most. I know Colorado's got some big
it's
righty
tough
bats,
between
man.
Ryu and Snow for me. I like him a fair bit. It's just the innings for Ryu that kind of scare me, but that Giants team is always something really appealing.
Yeah, I mean,
They're both
with
up there.
Colorado, you can't
Yeah.
forget like Colorado still. I know they're out of course, but they do have Arenado and Story, and like Blackman hits lefties well. Like I've been picking on Colorado, but like they're just a better group of hitters. And Snell's not been like the deep guy to go deep into the games either. Last year was the first year that he finally like started going deep into games because he throws a lot of pitches. He runs up high pitch counts. Like he's a strikeout pitcher, so he's going to throw a lot of pitches. Um, I don't know. I definitely like both of those guys, and maybe you go Snell Ryu and cash and trade down at bats. I mean, I don't know, but they're definitely the top two there, and then I think Barrios maybe is your GPP pivot.
I'm in the same ballpark as you. Like completely agree with you there.
Perfect. All right, you I guess that brings us down to like Stroman. Maybe we could tackle like 7 and 8K guys. The next like five guys here. Definitely a couple more names here that they're interesting. Like Stroman, for example. You
Yeah.
feel
Anyone
uh,
against this is the Carter rule again. Anyone against the Orioles
that
or
didn't work
the
out for what's his name today. Reed Foley did not work out.
yeah, that's where pretty fair share of my tournament exposure went to
Ooh,
too.
sorry.
So,
I mean, here's the thing with Reed Foley. Like, the reason I wasn't on him was just he's still like got like 30 innings of major league experience. Like, he's got good stuff. He's just young. He's trying to figure it out. Stroman's a pro. He's been pitching a long time, and he's a ground ball guy. Like, you're not too worried about home runs. So I don't mind Stroman there at all against the Orioles. 8-3 is not like what I really want to pay for him, but they're factoring in the matchup and the fact that he pitched well week in his first start. So he's in play.
yeah, I like Sherman a fair bit. Of course, like I said, it's the Orioles lineup where they have a ton of K potential too. Where you're looking at like some of those bottom of the order guys, like Chris Davis, of course, Reese,
Mm.
even like VR, Mancini, Nunez, like they're all above like 25%. With the reason Chris Davis above like 30%. It's only those top couple guys that don't really strike out much, but that bottom of the order brings a lot of K potential there.
Like the thing with Stroman, the only way he gets like totally smashed is if they like BABIP him to death. Like if there's a bunch of singles and
Yeah,
doubles and the single ball's not diving too hard, like they're not gonna like go out and crush him for like 3, 4 home runs. Like that's just not doesn't happen to him. But like once in a while you play Stroman and he'll just get like ground ball up the middle, like single high single, like that shit happens. It's baseball, it's variance. Like he's perfectly fine, and maybe people will stay off him because like, oh, Baltimore, recency bias. Baltimore is hitting now, like, but he's perfectly fine play.
yeah, I'm actually a big fan of him too. He's gonna be one of my favorite pitchers tomorrow. Or big ground ball pitcher. Doesn't give a lot of home runs.
He's finally healthy too. Like
Not a lot of
last
hard
year,
contact at all.
yeah. I mean, that's the other thing. Like last year, he was a little bit banged up and wasn't perfectly healthy. So I think he's in a good spot. You want to attack him tomorrow?
It's what you said. Like if he can avoid a lot of these walks, where like that's where he versus a lot of his trouble too. Where like you said, like he gives up
Hmm.
some walks, he singles, doubles, and it all adds up. Brings up his pitch count. He gets pulled early, but against his Orioles team, of course, that I think that can be mitigated a fair bit. I
Yeah,
like Sherman Elias a nice SP2 tomorrow.
I do too. I mean, he's in that range where you can pay for a stud and then him and still have some decent bats. Without and he's going to carry a lot less risk than one of these like sub 7K guys which all carry a good share of risk. So how about I mean right below him you have on the other side of that Snell matchup is Kyle Freeland against Tampa Bay, and I'm definitely interested in him. He looked great opening day. Tampa Bay, has some bats, but like isn't anything special. It's in a good ballpark. I don't know how you feel about Freeland, or if you are a Freeland believer.
I'm not really a believer in him. I think he's good for sure, but I'm not really. I don't like to pick on that Tampa Bay team as much as most people do.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Really, they strike out on, like, everyone strikes out on average. Really, like 20, like, a ton of 20 to 25% K guys, a ton of hard hitters. Where, like, I think it poses some threat. Of course, like, I do like Freeland, but I just don't like picking on this team as much as other guys do.
I will say there's not a ton of. I'll just jump in. There's not a ton of upside. The reason I didn't play him opening day was I didn't see a ton of upside with K's. Like, he's definitely capable of going out and doing the same thing as Stroman, like getting you 6 innings and giving up 1 run on a few hits and like 5 or 6 Ks. Like, he's that guy. He's a good real life pitcher. But in DFS, he is really just a safe SP2 in cash. He's never really the guy who's going to go out and dominate and get you a bunch of Ks or anything like that. So it's really more of like a safety play, I think.
Yeah, I like him too. Like, I think he's fine.
I mean, his hard contact is low. Like, if you look at his stats, like, everything checks out. He's a very above average pitcher. He just, like you said, it's you want to pick on Tampa Bay. They got a bunch of righties, and then the dude, you got to remind me too. Like, Austin Meadows, like, I didn't play him against a lefty. I played him against a righty, and he has, like, I think he has reverse splits. Like, he hits lefties better. And he was like, he's a guy that hit a home run off a lefty yesterday, and he was a Pirates prospect. And I'm kind of bummed when they traded him for Chris Archer, but I mean, Tampa Bay has some bats, so I wouldn't. They lit up Bettis today. I wouldn't necessarily be lining up to attack them either. So
we'll move a little further down, which is kind of crazy. Right underneath them both, Greinke and Lauer are close enough to the same price tag now on DK, going against each other. Between the two of them, like, give me some thoughts there, where they're both almost the same price. Crazy, Greinke and Lauer. But what do you think so far?
It's crazy, and I 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take the better pitcher. Like, Zach Greinke is still a good MLB pitcher. He's obviously not like the ace he once was, but I've been picking. I like to pick on San Diego with right-handers, and I think Greinke's stuff is good enough to like shut down a right-handed lineup. So it's really a price play. It's 7.6. Like, he, unlike Freeland, is a guy that can go out and pitch 7 innings and strike out 8 or 9 dudes, like, and really win you a tournament. Lauer, I'll wait and see. Like, look what happened to Strom tonight with left hand, like apparently a mediocre left-hander against Arizona. Like, I'll probably that's way too expensive for Lauer, in my opinion. I don't think he's that great of a pitcher. So I'll lean Greinke in that matchup.
Yeah, definitely. It's really what it comes down to is what you said. Like, I just like taking the better overall pitcher, where just everything lines up for Greinke over Lauer. Besides, gives up a little more hard contact, doesn't walk nearly as many people, has more K upside, gives a lot more ground balls compared to fly balls. I think it's price play is more because of the opposing lineups, but it's definitely going to be Greinke over Lauer for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I mean, do I want to pay that price tag for Lauer? No, but I'm sure no one else does. So maybe it does bring some tournament appeal. But if I'm looking at like raw output, I think we're definitely going to both side on Greinke over Lauer.
No, for sure. It's a classic like buy low, sell high thing. Like, I'll sell Lauer on him being not as good as he looked. The first game he played, pitched against the Giants, right? Like, we're seeing anybody.
He was the chalk SP2 on opening day, right?
Right, and anyone with a pulse
opening
right
day
now,
or the day after he was chalk SP2.
Yeah, he was opening day because they saved what's his name for the second night out. But it's just anybody is going to look good coming out of there, and Arizona looks good tonight, and they have some bats. Like, Adam Jones is hot, and I would probably avoid him and just let him get shelled. And he'll go back to being 6K, and then in the next good matchup, you can play him again. Like, that's the thing about baseball. It's great. Like, you can just wait on dudes. Like, you can kind of root against the guy. Like, oh, I hope he sucks this week because I want to play him next week in a better spot. And then you do.
Yeah, my thing too, I'd definitely rather like something that makes me lean one way. I much rather stack against Lauer than stack against Greinke.
Mm-hmm.
Like that top of the order for the Arizona isn't like abysmal. Like I think they're playing right now. Like Jones, Eduardo Escobar, Peralta, even like I can see myself going to some of those bats if like people are going to Lauer. So
Absolutely.
I'll definitely like them a fair bit.
Cool. Do you have any interest in Keller? I know he pitched pretty well. I mean, in Minnesota hasn't been much. I mean, he's the next guy here that's in this price range, and we can kind of do all the low tier guys together if you want.
More opening day chalk that kind of went wrong after the rain scares, but it's crazy that they Keller was what on opening day? Was he like the actual minimum 4K?
He was super cheap. I didn't bite on it, but I mean, he was worth it. I mean,
yeah, he pitched great too.
So he's a situation here again where like he got the priced up to where he's 7K now. He's not like a min price guy. Like he's still cheap enough you can fit him easily, but do you want to pay that for him? And do you believe that he is like, legit, or are you gonna just wait and see? You mentioned there in Slack, like I can't wait for a couple weeks of MLB because we're gonna be waiting for regression from some of these guys. And
yeah, I love that too, where everyone rides out like hot hands
right.
and everything like that, and then you see some of these guys playing like shit people don't want to touch, and then you start to see why we're a week into the season, people have like 600 averages and some people have like 100 averages, and that doesn't last at all. But
yeah,
that's baseball too.
People want to click that button like, this guy's hit a home. Like somebody today said, like, what's his name from the Yelich didn't hit a home run today. Like, did you think he was going to go 5 days in a row? Like,
or what about like? I think you gave him the reverse jinx this morning. We were talking about how bad like Colin Moran is, and then like he breaks the early 2-game slate.
I was telling him like Colin Moran sucks. Like I hate the Pirates. I mean, they traded Garrett Cole from like. I still think they lost that deal, but I was like, he sucks and he's a huge disappointment. They should be playing Kang more, and then he goes in and hits a home run and it's like RBI double, and so whatever. Baseball.
But Keller I would take over Lauer, but I still don't think I'm taking him over Greinke. I like the ground balls here. It has a little bit more K upside than Lauer too, so or just about the same.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're on. It depends on what site you're on too. Like FanDuel, like I don't like taking a guy who's going to be an underdog because like it's so win dependent. Like you need a win and a quality start. And on DK, it doesn't matter. Like it's so different with the way this thing's scored. So if you're playing on FanDuel, like I don't pay down nearly as much because the chances of you getting like a win and a quality start from a really cheap guy just are so much smaller, especially when they're like he's facing Barrios. Like, can his guys show up and beat Barrios and get him a win? Like, I don't know, they could, but it's not likely.
Yeah, I don't really like targeting that Twins lineup. I think they're a little bit scary this year, and they have a lot of pop potential too. They're hard hitting guys, so.
Right. And they haven't really gone off yet. I guess they hit up Carrasco the other day, but they haven't really gone off yet. So they're, I don't want to say they're due because I have a problem with that whole expression, but they certainly have some, like you said, they have some power. They have Rosario, and they got Nelson Cruz there this year. Like they have some hitters. So, do you want to just
drop it down to the next little tier there?
Okay. I have no interest in. Can I just roll off these guys? I have no interest in Mike Fiers. Sorry. No interest in Cahill. No Cahill. Thank you. No Eflin because Washington's lineup is good. My guy, and I was talking about earlier in Slack, that I'm going with is Marco Gonzales, and you're probably rolling your eyes. Okay.
Well, I'm only rolling my eyes because these fucking Angels keep killing me every damn day, bro. I don't know if I said it earlier in the show or the pre-show.
Just don't play him against lefties. I'm telling you, don't do it. Like
against lefties, I haven't been playing him at all. But against these soft tossing righties who absolutely give up a shit ton of hard contact, and you have Calhoun, Trout, and Bohr leading off 1, 2, 3 for the Angels. True. Like I've been mashing these guys every day. But I'm being like, I'm always playing double stacks, and I'm making sure like my double stack minimum usually is 4, but when it's the Angels, because I only want to play like Calhoun, Trout, and Bohr, I'll lower the minimum for them only to 3. And because I'm lower to 3, they get popped a shit ton for me, which I usually don't have a problem with because I'm like, all right, they're in a great spot. Like if Trout's Trout, if he doesn't hit a home run, he's gonna get that which he did the other game, like that ninth inning walk and a stolen base, and like not
He
big
gets there.
value, but like not
Right.
kill me. And Calhoun and or Bohr, one of them like Bohr sucks now, but maybe he should hit a home run or do something decent for me. These
Yeah.
guys haven't done absolute shit in some of the best spots so far for me, but
Well, like I said, you kind of just need to wait and see on Board. Like Board is like a streaky hitter too. Like he's one of those guys that like he'll get on a tear and he'll just like start crushing. It's early in the year and he's just not. And Calhoun's kind of the same way. And of course Trout you play every night because he's the goat. Like he's ridiculous. But back to this whole left-handers against Angels thing. I was talking about it earlier, and like I don't care who they are. I don't care how bad they are. I played Brett Anderson the other night. He was the highest scoring pitcher on the entire slate, and Brett Anderson sucks. He's terrible. Like it doesn't matter if there's like in fact it actually is better sometimes if they're like a soft tossing scrub of a pitcher because Angels just cannot hit left-handers. They don't do it. I mean last year I played Carlos Rodon, I played uh, Wade LeBlanc. Like it didn't matter. Like there was this whole thing where they just can't hit left-handed pitching. Their ISO is low, their WOBA is low. They just roll over top of the ball and ground it out, and that just plays right into Marco's game. And he's not going to strike out a bunch of dudes. He is a great control pitcher. I think Seattle gets him like definitely will hit up Cahill and get him a lead. He's just going to go 6 innings, give up a run or two, strike out 4 or 5 guys, and get a win. And at 5'9", like I don't want to say I'm going to play him in cash as my SB2 because that's crazy, but I will have a ton of exposure. Like playing him and Max together, if you can get like 15, 16 DK points out of Gonzales and then Max goes out and gets 30 or plus or whatever, like you're you're sitting pretty. So he's my favorite SB2, and you don't have to like it, but
no, I'm kind of on your side too. Like I only been targeting these Angels against like those tonight, Felix Hernandez, like those righties who give up a lot of hard contact.
yeah,
With those power lefties for the Angels, Trout in there too. The only guy who really grades out well for the Angels bats tomorrow is going to be Pujols, which is surprising.
oh yeah.
Like a 40% hard hit rate against lefties. So I'm kind of on board with you too here.
Like the thing about Marco that you can deal with is like if he gives up a home run to Pujols, like it's most likely a solo shot or a 2-run shot. Like he just doesn't mess around with a lot of walks, and he limits hard contact. He gets ground balls. Like uh, he, I just like the guy. And then someone was asking me if I'm a Marco Gonzalez truther. Like he was once an elite prospect. Like he's not obviously an elite pitcher, but the guy's got a good pedigree. Like he knows how to pitch. And so he's just way underpriced in my opinion. He's never going to be a 8 or 9K pitcher, and he's not a guy you want to target for like, slate winning potential when he's that expensive. But it's just a bad misprice. Like he is a clearly better pitcher than every other guy under 7K on here. I don't know if you can argue anybody 7K or less that's a better real life pitcher than Marco Gonzalez on here.
it just scares me that like against lefties, he does actually have kind of reverse splits where he almost is better against righties here, but against lefties, I'm seeing like 40% hard hit rate, and he doesn't really strike out anyone with like 15% K rate.
But who's he going to see in that lineup? Are they even going to play Bohr? Are they going to? Don't they platoon Bohr with like a righty or something?
They usually drop him down where they'll move pull like Bohr usually play the 3 spot against the righty, and they'll move him down to the 5 spot and just bump Simmons and Pujols up.
Okay, so he's only going to face Calhoun and Bohr. Like those are the only two lefties. Like again, like I guess Trout. If your argument is he's a reverse splits guy and like lefties could get him, then they have 2 lefties in the lineup. Like I love the fact that
I'm not afraid of him. I'm definitely not. I'm saying like when he doesn't really strike out lefties and he gives up a ton of hard contact, like it's possible these guys. Again, I'm saying this I'm not an Angels fan, but kind of as an Angels truther who's been riding them out so far, so I'm looking for any excuse to keep playing them until they make my money back. But like I can imagine like if they're not striking out, and does give up a ton of hard contact at 40% is pretty insane. There is some big donk potential here. So
I mean, absolutely. Like, listen, and again,
I am on board with playing him over the Angels bats, so definitely.
Yeah, he just doesn't have bad home run numbers either. Like he just he's a good pitcher. If you want to get back on your Angels train, like just wait till they get another like harder thrower, like or a righty But I'm telling you, like if the formula is soft tossing lefties, finesse guys against the Angels, and been a tried and true method for me, I'm not gonna deviate from it, especially after like dude, like Brett Anderson. Like Brett Anderson is terrible. Like he went out and pitched 6 shutout or 6 1-run innings against him the other night. Like there's just no way if I played Brett Anderson the other night, I'm not playing freaking. I'm gonna push my luck. I'm gonna play Marco Gonzales. All right. Do you have anybody else that's cheap here that you like? Like, I hope you're not gonna say like Shelby Miller or Cashner or something, but or
that I like. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna like Cashner. I'm not gonna like Shelby Miller. Vargas even even when I'm not usually my target against the Marlins, I'm not gonna play him. But I think it brings up some discussion for some of these bats. If you want to start talking about some of those bats to target now, or it's hard to talk about them at the top end because we love those pitchers where these pitchers on the lower end all should give up a fair amount.
Like who do you, like put it this way? Who do you want to really pick on? Like, I guess I'm going to start with Cahill because as much as I like Cahill and he's like a decent ground ball pitcher and like a decent real life pitcher, like Seattle, dude. Seattle is just on fire. Like when you look at their lineup, and I'm just checking in on them now. I guess they've only scored 4 runs right now, but through 5. But like, I don't know how you don't just play a Seattle stack until they cool off. Like, you know,
and they're so fairly priced still every single slate.
Right.
Like they're never getting like priced up. They're still all relatively cheap too. They're fine for wraparound stacks. Like they have splits between like lefty and righties in their lineup to make it kind of viable any spot. Like
I stacked them like 3 or 4 different ways tonight because I kept looking at it and I'm like, oh my god, I like this top part of the order. I like this like middle part of the order. They got power. They got like D Gordon hitting 9th. Like you can do wraparounds with him and. Like the righties are all smashing. The Jay Bruce and is a nice lefty in the middle of all those righties. Like the catcher, like they will don't press him up. What Narvaez, whatever.
Well, how the hell has he been playing this well, bro? Like him and Colton Wong too. Like
both of them. Like I guess it's fluky good starts, but like he was 3-2 or 3-3 again tonight, and I was like, just click the button, just play him, dude. Like he's facing a bad righty. Like why not? So I'll start with the Mariners and just say like maybe they'll be chalky because everybody just wants to get on board, but it's also a huge slate. Like how much ownership can they really carry on this big of a slate? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you too there. The obvious guy who we're gonna want to target here, which again, they've been burning me too. I wrote my cash article for I think it was opening day or the day after. It's going to be probably close to impossible for me to not write them up again tomorrow. Even though they look like they've been pretty bad, pulled away a little bit later tonight to help me out a bit. But the fucking Blue Jays, man, are going against Cashner, a 5.1 run total right now. What are your thoughts? Because I know you've been off them for the most part, right? Like you haven't been really riding the train.
I was on them against Matt Moore. Like I like playing them against lefties better because they're so right-handed heavy. Here's the thing with Cashner, like he's such a troll. Like I don't like picking on him. I know he's not a good pitcher by any stretch of the imagination. He just, and maybe this is just anecdotal and it's not. There's no evidence to back it up. But he always just seems to like go out and give up 3 runs over 5 innings. Like you stack against him and like you get 1 home run off of him, or you get a couple doubles and a couple RBIs. But
kills the Yankees.
He kills the Yankees. Like right first day, I was like, don't stack against Cashner. Of course, Voit hits a 3-run homer in the first inning, but then they didn't do anything after that. So, like, I don't know. I guess you're gonna want to consider them. Like, what do you do with them? Do you play the righties? Do you play the lefties? Do you just stack them up? Like, they're. Honestly, I have no idea what to do other than like you could just stay away from them because they've been sucking. Like, but that doesn't make sense as far as trying to play the odds. I don't know.
I mean, really, anyone in this lineup becomes viable at this point. Like, it gives a shit ton of hard contact to both sides of the plate. Doesn't really K anyone, but gives up a lot less to righties. Walks everyone, which makes helps everyone out a little bit too.
I used to
more bats, everything.
I used to exclusively target him with left-handed hitters. So like immediately, like I think of like if McKinney leads off, and then of course like Smoke hitting third. Like those guys are appealing. But I know his numbers are bad against righties too. Like I just don't think does he give up as much power to righties? I feel like the righties is like a higher WOBA but lower ISO or something like that.
Against righties, yeah, it is higher WOBA, lower ISO, but just around the same hard contact and the almost an 8% lower K rate too.
Right. So, I mean, it's fine. I mean, if they're chalk, like I'll have a lot of interest in not playing them in tournaments. Like I guess I'll be writing up GPP tomorrow. You'll be writing up tournaments, so we'll have kind of a different mindset about it. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of other crappy pitchers you can pick on too, especially in tournaments. That until the blue, I mean, and I guess you want to be on the Blue Jays when they do finally explode. But like,
if they do ever explode too,
yeah, prove it to me that you're actually good. Like I don't really believe you.
Yeah, I don't mind like I've been playing like the top four every time, like between Drury, Kenny when he's played, Hernandez, Smoke,
right, Grichuk, Hernandez.
Yeah, Grichuk, all of them. I'm gonna imagine I'm gonna have to almost go back to them tomorrow. They are like we were talking about how cheap the Mariners are. They're almost the same. While they're obviously not in the same spot, they're more expensive than the Mariners while being a significantly worse actual skilled team.
Yeah,
I think that brings the tournament appeal to fade them, but for cash game perspective, like going against Cashner, it's hard not to want to play them.
Yeah, I agree. Especially like Smoke or somebody like I just feel like he probably lines up really well. I haven't looked at all the like batted ball data and stuff and the pitch types and stuff, but I can imagine Smoke will be. I mean, he was popular again tonight because people love playing Smoke because they know he just hammers lefties or he hammers righties. Excuse me. Um, what about picking on Shelby Miller? Can we talk about that? Because like Houston has not done much this season, but we know they have a good lineup. Like, and I'm not convinced that Shelby Miller is anything other than still a terrible pitcher. What do you think about Houston? Normally, you want to use him against lefties, but can you stack up the Astros against Shelby Miller, a righty in Texas in a great hitter's park?
Yeah, you can go definitely both sides of the plate against Shelby Miller too. Like he just gives him a shit ton of hard contact. Again, his K numbers are definitely better against righties. And I'm not looking at last season's sample size because he barely had one, but a lot better against righties. He still walks an insane amount of lefties. Like these lefties here, depending who the Astros roll out tomorrow.
Like Reddick will be one, and Brantley will hit cleanup, right?
I'm gonna like my time, but like even the righties are fine too. We're talking about Shelby Miller. Like if Shelby Miller has a little bit better numbers against righties, like, that's not gonna scare me.
Yeah, right.
Especially when you're looking at the raw talent of the Astros lineup, like Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, like all batting right in front of Brantley too. Like those guys I'm gonna love. They're definitely priced up too for the occasion against Miller.
They are a little priced up. The way I look at it now. Yeah, I was talking about this in Slack. Do you tell me if you do this? Do you just play Altuve in these stacks? Because
I don't.
I skip them like in all my Houston stacks.
I really never, but like unless it's like a kind of like yeah, when he's this expensive in like an Arlington game, like I don't really. I look for the guys who have like that dollar potential more, and like that's not really him anymore. Like unless like they're projected at like some insane run total because like the weather or playing in cores or whatever the circumstances. I don't mind leaving him out when he's that expensive.
It's just crazy. He's more expensive than Bregman tomorrow. Like, and I know second base like position scarcity stuff like that, but I don't think I've played Altuve in like months, and going back to like last season, like I just always skip him in my stacks because when have you ever needed him like to win a slate? Like
you haven't, and I don't think you will for a while.
He goes double dong or like he has like 4 stolen bases or something stupid. Like you just don't need him. Like I would much rather play like if you look down halfway down that order, like what if you went like Correa, Brantley, Uriel, Reddick or something? Like those guys are all at least mid 4K, low 4K. You can probably fit that stack a lot easier than trying to pay for the top 3.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. I was gonna bring up that rep round stack, like that bottom of the order from like Brantley to White or
even like Robinson Trinos. Like I know
Trinos to like even bring that back around to Brantley without Altuve. Like that's fine, especially when we're always like struggling to find catchers. While like He's always going to get lower ownership too. Like he's one of the better hitting catchers out there, but when he bats lower in the lineup, like people just don't like to go to that. But when the lineup's this stacked in this matchup, like I don't really factor that because they're going to get a ton of at bats anyway.
Dude, by the way, you were not kidding about the Texas prices. I'm looking at the whole game right now, and like you could probably realistically run like a game stack here and roll out like Odor and Mazzara and Gallo and Cabrera or Chu or whoever, and then on the other side roll back, 3 or 4 Strohs and still fit decent pitchers because the Texas guys, other than Gallo, are all under 4K.
They're all so cheap. When they're all under 4K, like, and they have that homer potential against JV too. Like,
yeah, that's the thing.
JV, I like him, but when I'm looking for like that low owned stack that's super cheap that has a lot of potential, like I think the Rangers are fine tomorrow.
Yeah, I just was looking at that while I was looking at the other side, so I figured to toss it out there. All right, how do you want to attack some of these other stacks? I mean, is there another pitcher that we talked about? I guess we talked about stacking against Lauer. Is that something you would do with like a top 4 Arizona stack, maybe?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm never gonna be in love with Arizona stack as they're going for fucking 15 runs tonight. But
yeah, I see that now.
But Lauer's a guy. If he's gonna come in a little higher ownership than I like, then I have no problem attacking him.
I mean, that's at least play Adam Jones 1-off 3.8 on DK. Like he's been on fire and he is crushing. So I mean, he may even be like a cash play at that price, like against the lefty. 3.8.
Yeah, he's so cheap and projected to lead off too.
Right, like pencil him in for me.
Either side of like I know we don't really like the pitchers at all, but about that when they're so cheap both sides and like the Marlins Mets, no one plays really any of the batters there. Where I love playing the Mets. I love playing Ahmed Rosario too, who has a shit ton of stolen base upside towards the bottom of the order there. I don't mind. Okay. I don't even mind playing these Marlins because like we saw like Herrera has some stolen base upside now. Mm-hmm. Brian Anderson's decent. Like I don't touch like Prado, Faro sometimes just because you catch like Peter O'Brien.
How about Lewis Brinson? That guy. That guy's like all or nothing.
I'll never touch him either because he might strike out 75% of the time. Like he gets.
He's like the who's that guy for the Milwaukee's? He's like Keon Broxton. Like the same thing. Like you're getting like a double dong or like 4Ks. Like he's just swinging out of his shoes every time up there.
Yeah, but I don't mind. Like Brian Anderson's gonna be pretty nice play at 3.9 against Vargas.
Castro, yeah, look at that.
So I don't mind like taking those early to order guys like the Marlins 1 through 4. Even if you want to go like add a Alfaro to make that a 5-man, even though I don't like the position for that stack there.
Well, back up to the Mets for a second. Like, look at the Mets 1 through 4. Like 3.9 for Nimmo. Like
the Mets 1 through 7, I really don't mind. Like Dominic's like the one guy I don't love, but everyone else there, I have a fair amount of appeal in.
You're right. I mean, like that top 4 though, all lefties against Urena aren't his stats against lefties like horrible? I feel like he's the guy that we always target with lefties. I have to look that up. Like I know he is a real traditional like decent against righties and like terrible against lefties or something, right?
He just gives a shit ton of hard contact up. He like that's over 40% again. He Ks a lot less. Fly ball rates aren't anything spectacular.
No. Yeah, I mean that Mets. You definitely call that one because I love the prices on that, and we've seen those guys. They can win you a slate. I really like McNeil. Like he's third base outfield eligible. Like you have some flexibility with how you build it too.
Yeah, like I said, any of those like top 7 from Nimmo, McNeil, Cano, Conforto. Wilson Ramos is a catcher there, and Rosario, that's stolen base upside. I like them a lot. I can imagine myself having a lot of them in tournaments. And
yeah,
I think they
like
have
it too.
Some kind of bias from last year where absolutely just no one wants to play them. Like I get it. Like last year, the Mets absolutely sucked, but we're looking at a kind of different roster now with them for the most part. And one of the better spots that they're going to be in, I can imagine myself playing a lot of these Mets tomorrow. And they're so cheap too. Just like we said about the Rangers, they're most of them besides the Conforto 4K and under, and they're versing Urena compared to the Rangers versing JV.
Yeah, you're right too. I mean, it's definitely a safer spot. Like they'll do something against Urena as opposed to we know the Rangers could do nothing against JV.
Yeah. I'm keep going on about him. I'm gonna love him. Like this 4.3 run total. They're so cheap, and like it's a stack that I like right now. That's gonna be able to help me get to those really expensive pitchers if I want to play two of them. So I won't mind that one bit.
So I'm gonna throw one at you here. What about going like a top 4 righty stack against Mad Bum, like with Enrique Hernandez or Kiki, whatever, like Turner, Freeze, Pollock. I guess Seager's kind of sandwiched in there, lefty, but he hits lefties okay. They're not priced up that much. They're all 3K, the 3.5 to 4K. Excuse me.
And we've seen how explosive the Dodgers have been now, man. They've been on fire to start the season so far.
Should I bring up Kiki's BVP against Mad Bum? Probably shouldn't.
I'll take a hard pass on that. Go ahead. I think you kind of got to say it because there are some. How people still fucking preach BVP is beyond me. But because there are some people that actually think it's even a thing, or some people that actually just like to read, I guess, because what else would you even look at it for? Go ahead and
all right. Well,
tell us what it is.
It's 40 at bats. I mean, 40 plate appearances. So it's.
Who's this again? When you said BVP, I stopped listening. Okay.
You blacked out. You put into freak out mode. It's Kiki Hernandez. He's got 40 plate appearances. He's got 4 home runs. And he's hitting 487. And David Freese, who's terrible. I don't really want to play David Freese. Also is hitting 467 and like 17 at bats. But no one else has done much of anything in their samples. So it's just more of a thing where guys look at that and like, oh, Kiki, cash play. Like he owns Mad Bum. Like it guaranteed. Like that's the first thing guys type in the chat in the morning. Kiki autoplay, like whatever.
Yeah, Kiki BVP versus Mad Bum. Not that he has a 44% hard contact to radius and Kiki is hard hitting. It's not. Bumgarner is absolutely wide splits. Right. It's the BVP.
It's exactly the wide split. You and I both know what it is. I just always want to acknowledge the fact that like, oh, people will see that, click on it, and be like, boom, here we go. So I expect him to be like the cash play at second base because people, first of all, people love playing Kiki when he leads off against lefties, and if they see that he's like crushes Mad Bum in his career, they're just gonna play him. So like, I don't know. The more I look at it, it's not a situation I would love to attack. I guess Justin Turner has 4 home runs off of him. Pollock has 3, but I'm not going to win you over with the BBP argument. I will win you over with the Mad Bum sucks argument. And
I'll side with you with that. Next time you say BBP, I'm taking my headphones off. But yeah, all those Kiki, Turner, Pollock, Freese, like they're definitely fine, and they're not even expensive either, which is absolutely wild. Like how can you not want to play Justin Turner at 4.1 against a lefty?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm looking at these prices, and like Pollock's the most expensive one at 4.2. Freeze is first base, third base eligible, so like you can snatch him in wherever you can get a chance. Chris Taylor's that you could do like the low stack with like Taylor and Russ Martin and like Britt Rabbit back around like that. That's something you have to look at tomorrow. I have one more that's like, I mean, I don't know if you have any other ones you were looking at. I have one that I'm gonna just float out there. It's probably crazy, but how about an A stack against Sale? Like, listen to these prices.
That's the ownership play, and I mean,
Semien 3.5, Chapman 3.8, Piscotty 3.7,
Crush 4.3. Well, it's more expensive. Like that's fine. Like
and one played Crush tonight against Price, and he took him deep the first at bat. Like I know it's probably a dumb idea. Like
nothing's dumb in MLB. That's the thing, especially when they're so cheap and. It's actually just not dumb, but it's a smarter thing to play. Ace.
It's a donkey play. I mean, like Laureano hit a home run tonight. He's 3.6. Like they basically are all righties. Like they're gonna roll out 9 right-handed hitters, against Sale, and you're just betting. Like maybe Sale isn't. Maybe he is off, and he goes out and just is grooving. He's throwing 95 instead of 98. And he's just grooving it, and they jack him a few times and. You get the long man to come in out of the bullpen. Like that's the other thing people don't ever think about is bullpens. Like they're like, oh, it's Sale. Like we can't play against Sale. all right, if they run Sale after, even if they chase him after 4 or 5, and you end up getting a couple long relievers in there, just guys who aren't elite relievers, like you're gonna get a chance at some production. So uh, I don't. It's a total like deep tournament play with like a donkey play, but I certainly don't mind them. They're super cheap.
Yeah, I love. You kind of brought up like I love looking at bullpens too, where a lot of people don't. This is irrelevant to tomorrow's slate, but like it was the other day when uh it was against Texas when Minor was pitching. Everyone wanted to play
Mm-hmm.
the righties against him, but I was like the lefties are fine. Like you go into Texas, like we're their bullpens predominantly righties and pretty awful against lefties. Like and no one wants to play the lefties against Minor. Like take some of the lefties and be a little different there. So
Yeah, right. Especially like Rizzo, like that day was a great play. Like Rizzo hits lefties well anyway. So
yeah.
yeah, and I think people fall into that platoon splits thing, like, and they get wired that way. I know when I first started playing baseball years ago, I was like, all right, lefties, we want the lefties on this team, the righties on that team, and you would just fall into that pattern, and you never take lefty lefty matchups, or you just force yourself into like only stacking the guys with the platoon advantage, and it just limits you because you. How many times have you watched the game? And you're like, oh, I have all the lefties, and the righty just hit a home run. Like, well, should have played some righties too.
Yeah, and it doesn't make like it always makes sense to add some of the righties in there. Like obviously, lefties or whoever grades out with the splits better is going to grade out better, but you can't just ignore the better players and stuff like that because of it.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, you nailed it. So, uh, you mentioned something about like, here's the thing with the prices. Like you mentioned something about the Twins and Keller and like not knowing if Keller's any good. Look at those Twins prices though. Do you really want to pay over 4K for Kepler, Polanco, Cruz, Rosario, and CJ Cron?
Rosario
Like,
4-3, I would definitely have no problem paying.
yeah,
That's the one I will gladly pay 4-3 for Rosario. But
yeah. But like as far as priced up as a stack, like you add the those 4 or 5 guys together, they're more expensive than 3 or 4 of the other like better stacks and better spots that we talked about. So, like, I liked him until I kind of saw those prices, and then, like you said, maybe play a Rosario one off or a Kepler one off or something.
yeah, I'm with you there. I hate that how expensive they are too, but it's the one offs too. Like I said, when I mostly run like 4-3s or 5-2s and leave myself for like a one off if I want. So like I can imagine playing some Rosario in that one off spot.
Nice. All right,
Any
man.
other stacks here you see?
I've kind of rolled through all these games at some point here. I think we've hit most of them. I mean, unless there's another like higher end pitcher you want to attack, like we said, we were kind of off a few guys, and then is it a situation where if you're off, like here's the other thing. People sometimes think you have to like if you're not playing a pitcher, like you got to stack against them. Like you can just fade a whole game. Like I'm not playing bats or a pitcher from that game, and I'm just not sure about it. I'm going to move on. There's 10 games on the slate. So if I don't like, let's say I don't like Barrios tomorrow, like I don't have to run a Kansas City stack just to be different. Just don't play either.
Yeah, I'm right with you too. Like I'm not gonna force in stuff just because like you said, like I think people think like, oh, if I don't like this pitcher, I have to like these bats. That's not exactly how it works, but
Right. Like same
it's
thing
the
with
most
like
common thing.
I guess Sale is a better example. Like I'm not on Sale, and I think he's a dangerous spot, but I don't have to. I kind of like the Oakland stack, but I don't have to play the Oakland stack and be like, well, I'm fading Sale, so I'm going all in on Oakland. Like that doesn't make any sense.
In that scenario, what would make me on the A's, even if I don't like him, is if I don't like Sale and he comes in super chalky. Like if he's coming in as like a chalk play and I don't
Right.
like him,
Right.
whether I
In
like
which
the A's or not, then it's again baseball. You kind of have to play that variance team. Like go against the field and play that spot there.
yeah, I guess like we wouldn't. Well, tomorrow by middle of the day, you'll know like how much buzz
Yeah.
Sale's getting. Like I said, people are touting him and saying he's so cheap. Look, pay 1,000 less for Verlander in a good spot, and all of a sudden that happens. Will absolutely stack against him. Like you just have to wait and see.
So before we get into the dong match, we'll rattle off some of our favorite home run spots for some of these guys. Don't forget, you could always grab a one-day pass for us with the MLB. Even NBA, we still got one-day pass going on. Season pass is now discounted too. The day pass include everything else besides Slack chat, cash game articles, GPP articles, cheat sheets, live streams, pretty much everything. Or you can grab that season pass for MLB. That includes the Slack chat. Great time going on right now. We're all having fun. Still playing NBA. It's tilting around a little bit, but still playing it.
No doubt.
MLB is on fire, though. Everyone's having fun with it. It's an all-day grind. It's not like NBA where you have to wait to be 30 minutes until lock before you want to go into it. It's an all-day grind. We're all having fun. It's a fun community we got going on so far.
Oh, it's great, man. Listen, NBA, like the next week is gonna be brutal. Like everyone knows that. But when playoffs start, that first, like people forget you have another 3 or 4 weeks of like really good playoff like slates. So you have like some 2 and 3 game and 4 game slates that you can really nail. So I will be playing NBA, especially when playoffs pick up.
I'm really weird too. I'm best, and like a lot of people know me for this too. Like I'm amazing at the weird slates like that. Not like the late slates or turbo slates like that. Like playoff slates, I kill. I've taken down every year so far. Playoff slate, GPP, preseason GPP, and every year but this year so far, a Christmas Day one.
Nice.
Like those kind of slates, like the Christmas Day playoffs, where it's like,
because they're hard and people just plug in.
I think there's a lot higher skill gap, and like it kind of helps the players who like know what to do more. So I'm actually really excited for NBA playoffs. It's gonna be like my time to grind again.
Pricing is tight, and there's a ton of studs, and you have to basically like narrow it down and be like, I'm targeting this game, or I'm stacking this game, or I'm like, you have to find value.
It forces you to make more decisions too when there's that tighter pricing.
It's not just like, oh my gosh, we have all this chalk, we have all this value, we have all these studs, and we're just going to jam them all in. Like, it's way more challenging. So that'll be fun. Hey, before we start the Dong Watch, like I have an idea. I think at the end of it, we should like build a little like 3v3 like team for the beer bet. Just like you pick, like we just kind of like pick our guys for the home run calls, and then we'll just keep track of who has more home runs, and that'll be the winner of the beer bet. We kind of do 2 for 1 there.
That works too. So you want to do just home runs or like total fantasy points? Or how do you want to do that?
No, we'll just go with home runs, and if we end up being a wash or tie, whatever, we'll just call it a draw. We'll go to the next week.
Fair with me.
Yeah, that way we're not worried about like DK points, FanDuel points, like
yeah.
All right, so do you have anybody in mind? I'll even let you go first. I'm a nice guy. If you have someone you want to claim first, as far as being on your squad.
All right, so I'm not gonna take some super chalky guy right now and say like, oh, I'm gonna take a Blue Jay against Cash in right now.
Oh, you can have
yeah. I don't think I want to. I was trying to be that was advocate, but I'm gonna take Justin Turner against Bumgarner first call.
That's a good one. I like that a lot. All right, let me find. I had somebody lined up, and let me find them. Shoot. I should take Kiki just because of the BVP, but but listen, Turner has good BVP too, so maybe I shouldn't tell you that. You won't like him anymore.
I don't like guys. I'm not gonna get into this now.
That's fine, but let's don't worry about it. I'm gonna take Adam Jones. There's my guy, Adam Jones against Lauer.
Adam Jones. All right, let's see. Give me. I'll take Bregman.
Okay, I like that call too. People don't play Bregman against righties, but like I know he's a lefty masher, but like he can. Shelby Miller sucks.
Yeah, so he's bad.
I like that call. My next guy is gonna kind of come out of nowhere here, but I like the matchup. Like a right-handed sinker baller against Jay Bruce. So Jay Bruce takes Cahill Yard. He's my second on my squad.
All right, so let's do this. We did 2 so far. We'll do like 5 total. We'll do like one more chalky, and we'll take like 2 like kind of off the board, like not as expected. Like guys. All right. So my third guy. Let's see. Oh man. I
know what team you're looking at. I could tell already.
Yeah, I think we'll both be fair. We're not going to take Trout as any call.
No, don't take Trout.
That's what I'm saying. We're not going to. I'm going to take Juan Soto against Eflin.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that coming. That's a good one. I kind of was overlooking Washington there. He's 5-1. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's super expensive. I don't think we really talked about them, but they're crazy expensive tomorrow too. They're gonna be tough on the feet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Eflin, but I don't know how much I want to pay those prices. Holy mackerel! All right, so you can have Juan Soto. I thought you were looking at the Mets. I want a Met. I just don't know if I want.
But that's what I was gonna say for my next two, like the kind of more cuter ones.
I'm gonna take. I can't tell. Robbie or Conforto. I'll go with Robbie Cano.
All right, so now we'll get three each. We're going some like cuter guys, not as likely. We're not gonna take the absolute elite guys.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna take a Met now and go Jeff McNeil.
I love that call. I love Jeff McNeil, man. He's a good player.
Even at the end of last year when he came in, he was batting again a small sample size when he came in, but he was batting in the 350s for a while after he came in.
I'm gonna go with a cute one here. My favorite guy from Texas against JV is not Joey Gallo because he'll probably K 5 times, but is Odor. I'll take Odor as to take JV deep.
All right. I'm going right back for my fucking money. Come here, Angels. I'm taking Justin Bour, bro. Oh man, I hate that guy.
I love that because that'll be a double win for me because Marco Gonzales is just gonna go out and spin 6 innings, give up 2 hits, maybe 1 walk, and just troll everybody, all these Angels people. All right, I guess I need one more here. And it's got to be kind of cute, right? It can't be an obvious one. How about? Oh man. Oh okay. No, I'm not taking Blue Jays job. Man, I have one more. Oh, I know. I'll just take. Can I take Crush against Sale? Can I take Davis?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, because I just play that dude every time. Has there been a slate this season you haven't played Crush on yet?
It's not worth fading, especially tomorrow at 4-3. Sale, but I'm big into paying for raw talent. When he's that cheap, am I really paying for that kind of raw talent potential? No,
he gets 4 or 5 at bats, and he will try to hit a home run every time up, and that's just the nature of DFS. Someone was saying in chat earlier, it's crazy how many strikeouts there are. And I'm like, it makes total sense. Every guy, every at bat is swinging for the fence. If you watch these games, there's nobody chokes up with 2 strikes and tries to slap it the other way. That's not baseball anymore. At 2 strikes, you're sitting on a breaking ball and you're hoping the guy makes a mistake. And if not, you whiff and you get back to the dugout and go. Just what it is,
I think that's really it for our down calls too, right?
Yeah, so do you want to we made 5 calls. Do you want to make a top 3 your team from that? It's easy to keep track of 3, I think. Or do you want me to write all 5 down?
We'll do all 5 and just add the total amount between them, whatever works.
All right, that's easy. That's good. And then I'll just I'll post it tomorrow on the Twitter, and I'll just put Team Stevie, and I'll put your squad, and I'll put Team Thunder. I'll put my squad. You guys can, we like to give away free pass. Check our MLB content out because we haven't done many free passes since baseball started, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, man. We have guys crunching the numbers in Slack all day. We have guys who. You, me, and CK and Patio, breaking down stuff all the time. So, we're going to crush MLB this year. People should come check it out.
For sure, man, for sure. I think it's really going to be it. Dan, any closing words?
No, I just look forward to tomorrow's slate. I look forward to reading I always read your cash article. I think your stuff's great. And then, I'll be writing up the GPP stuff, trying to get creative, and we'll get you covered either way. So it was good, man. Good first baseball show. I enjoyed it. I like the
a lot of fun, bro. A lot of fun. I always doing the shows with you. It's a good time. Baseball, love doing that. So definitely a great show.
I love talking to you, man. You know what you're talking about. You're a good DFS player and a smart dude. So
thank you, bro. That was fucking nice of you. Everyone when we talk in the Slack, at least everyone thinks we hate each other because we give each other a lot of shit.
It's just what we do, man. People on Twitter, you're trolling me, putting pictures and stuff of me out. It's because it's fun. It's what bros do.
That's what we do. Who I am. It's what friends do. We're not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking kiss you in the Slack chat every 2 seconds. Everyone be like, "Oh yeah, these guys are best friends." Like, we're best friends because I hate you. That's why.
Exactly right. I mean, listen, I enjoy when you're wrong. Like I if I go against you, like we it's competitive and it's fun. But
it
like
doesn't really happen much. But yeah, I get.
I enjoy reading your stuff, and like I just personally I like talking to other dudes who know DFS. Like I think you said earlier in the year, like nothing is better than having people in the DFS community that you respect and that you like,
it's such an important thing having that that little inner crowd that you can talk to and bounce ideas off of. I think that's one of the most important things. Like I said it everyone all the time. Like even if you're not learning from the person you're talking to, even if you're talking to a fucking brick wall or you're texting yourself and your messages are getting bounced back, if to be able to verbally, or not just verbally, like, to be able to like portray your plays to someone else, if it doesn't make sense and sound okay while you're saying it, like to whoever, like while you're writing it, or if you can't find a reason why you're telling someone to play that play, like then it should be fair enough to show yourself maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And then and baseball it's a lot different too, because maybe like the reason for you playing that person can definitely be because of ownership. Like maybe they're not the best play, but like, oh, if these guys if the Rangers have all its home run potential as power lefties against Freeland, and they're coming in that low and that cheap,
exactly.
I want to play them for that reason, not because they're in a great spot, but because ownership reasons, stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, last thing, and then we got to get off. But like you and I both know, like when you write up a slate and you talk the guys through it and you go through it, like you feel better about your lineups. And so our listeners out there, like you're not a DFS writer or a tout or anything, but if you just chat with the other guys and talk to other guys about your plays, you're going to feel better about them and you're going to feel more confident in your process. So come and chat with us in the Slack, man. I think 90% of the guys in Slack just like to be able to, talk through their plays, talk through their process, why they like a certain play. We're not trying to talk guys onto or off of plays all the time. We're just trying to like help people articulate why they like a certain play and why they're playing a certain stack, or is it a GP leverage spot, or like why do you like this matchup? Just think through your process.
And with that, I think that's going to be it.
We're cut off. It's
later, guys. Been a nice show. Remember, BVP's a myth. I hope you guys crush tomorrow. Good luck.
Later.
Yeah.